Hello and welcome to the Pi Dashboard September 2020 update video. In this video, we'll be exploring what's new and what's changed in the latest version of the dashboard, and we'll be walking you through some of the highlights with a quick demonstration. But just before we jump into what's new, this is just a quick reminder that you can find all of the release files and the supporting documents that support this September release in our customer portal, and the links at the bottom of the video. So with that in mind, let's jump straight into what's changed in the release. So if we take a look at the new features that we've added, we've changed how totals are now shown on stacked bar charts. So these are now shown at the top of the chart with the individual items in the stack also numbered. Adil's going to give us a quick demonstration of what that looks like.
Hi guys, so the change in relation to the stacked bar chart pertains to showing data values. So you turn on data values by heading over to the attribute screen and ticking the box that says show data values. When you do this, you see that the data values display for each stack, but now also display for the totals for each stack as well. This is already displayed in the tooltip, but will also show on the chart itself.
Great, thanks Adil. We've also introduced the ability to have custom font URLs added into your themes. Adil's going to give us a quick demonstration of how you can set that up.
So if you head over into the dashboard configuration screen, and if you head over to themes and click on the theme that you have currently applied, and head over to configuration, you'll see a section called fonts. Now you can add custom font URLs here. Now you can add multiple URLs for the fonts for different parts of the dashboard, but for our demonstration, I'm only just going to add one. So I'm just going to get our custom font URL here, and I'm going to paste it into the text box, and I'm going to save this. And now I'm going to head over into styles, and I'm going to apply it in the Pi style body section. This is going to apply the font throughout the whole dashboard. So if I just copy the Pi style now, and if I save this, you'll see that the custom font has been applied throughout the whole dashboard. This is in the category section.
Great, thanks Adil. We've also introduced the ability to have data delimiters enabled around CSV files, and it's back to Adil for a quick demo of where you can set these.
So another new feature of the dashboard is the CSV delimiter. So if you head over into the dashboard configuration screen and settings, you can also see that we have separated out the variables. So we have system variables on the left-hand side, which we've separated out to images, themes, maps, CSV, modules, auth, and general. And you can still use custom variables. Now, if you head over to the system variables CSV, you can see that by default, we have CSV delimiter as empty and the quotes turned on. Now, if I show you what this looks like, once we download a CSV, by default, you shall see that the CSV has quotes turned on, and it also uses a comma to separate out the CSV itself. Now you can use this CSV delimiter in the settings to customize it. So if I untick quotes now, and if I put a semicolon there and I save it, and if I re-download the CSV again, and if I open it up in Notepad, you shall see that it is using a semicolon and it isn't using any quotes again.
Great, thanks Adil. We've also made some changes to how data connection imports works, making sure that incompatible files can no longer be imported without errors being returned. To help show you exactly where you can see that change, here's a quick demonstration.
So another new feature of the dashboard is the prevention of importing a older data connection. So if you head over to the dashboard configuration screen, and if you select a file to import which is older than the version that you are on, you will get this error message. Now if you open the error message, it will state to you the version that the file that you're trying to import was on and what the current system version is on.
Great, thanks Adil. So let's have a look at the other things that we've changed. We've made changes to table priorities, so where left and right joins are occurring, we've now cleaned that up so it's much more visible about how those are represented. And here's a quick demonstration of where you can make those changes.
So the next item on our list of changed items for this release is to do with table priorities. Now, if you have made use of table priorities, then this should affect you. But if you have not, then this should not affect you. Now, tables that appear on the left of the table join screen will now have a lower priority number than the ones on the right. So as you can see on the screen, guys, we have two tables here. We've got MAS category objects and MAS categories. Now, the tables on the right will always have a higher priority number than the tables on the left. So if we head into the MIS category objects details, you'll see that the table priority number should be 1,000. Now, if we swap this over and head over to the MIS category objects table, you should see that it's 1,001. What we have introduced is a new swap button, which will automatically swap them over and swap the priority numbers over.
Great. Thanks, Adele. We've added an API endpoint into the dashboard, so you can now check whether or not your dashboard is actually running. Here's how you do that.
So another change made in the dashboard was we introduced a new API endpoint to check if the dashboard is running. So if you go to the following URL, and if you put in your host name, and if you put in your port number /pi/version, and if you enter, you can see that it tells you what version of the dashboard you are running. Now, you don't exactly need to be logged into the dashboard in order for this to work. So you can actually log out of the dashboard and just go directly to that API endpoint, and it will still give you the same information.
Within the chart editing screen, the system no longer clears the search data that you've entered previously. To help show you exactly where you can see that change, here's a quick demonstration.
The system no longer automatically clears the search input when the user selects data. So as you can see, I'm about to filter via an object name called department, and when I click on department, as you can see that the search doesn't automatically clear it.
Great. Thanks, Adele. And the final area where we've made a change is in the scheduler, where the schedule monitoring time now represents the server time zone. So we've also included a few tweaks and fixes to known problems that we've reported or things that we've found ourselves. So here's a quick rundown of the things that we've fixed as well. We've resolved the scrolling problem that we'd seen within the chart editor area for the styling screen. To help show you exactly where you can see that change, here's a quick demonstration.
So previously we had issues where the scroll bar would not appear on the chart editor styling screen. Now as you can see, the scroll bar now appears and you can see all the elements of the styling screen.
Great. Thanks, Adele. Within data connections, we've also made a change to improved reporting for missing data dependencies. And here's a quick demonstration of where you can make those changes.
So another thing we fixed in the dashboard was an issue to do with missing dependencies when importing data connections. So as you can see, I'm importing my first data connection, which shows that we have a bunch of objects and no charts. Now, once I import this data connection and then I proceed to import my second one, it should not show any missing dependencies between the two as the two are related. So as you can see in the category section, it is not showing any missing dependencies and is actually showing that they are all being used.
We've also made some changes to chart displays around stacked bar charts and pie and donut charts. For stacked bar charts, we've improved how negative values are represented on y-axis, and on pie and donut charts, we've improved the percentage calculations and how these are shown on the charts as well. For those of you who are using themes, you may have come across a problem that we were having with moving theme colors around by using the navigation buttons. This has now been fixed up. To help show you exactly where you can see that change, here's a quick demonstration.
So another issue that had been fixed in the dashboard was to do with theme colors. So previously, when you would have theme colors and you would move the colors left and right, it wouldn't accurately move to where you want it to. And as you can see from the video, it is now moving exactly where you would want it to move.
Great. Thanks, Adele. And the last tweak that we've made is to improve an error message that was being returned for new users for the very first time that they were entering the dashboard in quite a unique situation. So that's now been resolved too. We're also aware of a known issue as part of this release. So if you're used to using embedded charts using Google Chrome, there may be some requirement for you to use HTTPS and also some slight configuration changes around your cookie settings. If that does apply to you, please reach out to us and our support team can help you, guide you through any setup that you might need, and we can also get our developers to help with any of those configurations too. So that's it. That is everything that we've included in this September 2020 release of the dashboard. For all of the information, screenshots, more details about these changes, please refer back to the release notes. They've got more screenshots in there if you need them. Equally, if you've got any questions or queries, please reach out to us in the support team. Or if you've got questions about any of the new features, your account management team will be able to help you as well.